Hi everyone, Carol is here to share what I have picked up for lesson 10. I think lesson 10 comes a little bit more complicated now that we have actually moved on from learning fundamental skill set to generic divination to now going into specific divination within a specific context. So lesson 10 starts with a few case study sharing to reinforce our learning about doing business divination. So a lot of time I realize that clients don't come to us with very straightforward question. There are always a lot of the pain points that comes within the questions itself, and I think it is important to develop the ability to be able to size up what is the exact pain point of the client, and this would actually help us to develop a good analysis so that we be able to address what is actually the client's concern. Yeah, so previously, if you remember, when we talk about doing business divination, we don't look at answer box and relationship between answer box and asker, but very specifically we look at key reference, which is the live door. Yeah, so moving into lesson 10 itself, we have learned that not always we have to look at the answers. If let's say the relationship between live door, yeah, that represent profits, the askers, and money, which is U itself, have already provide a definite answer. It is only when we see that this few key reference, the live door, the asker, and the money, which is represented by U, doesn't really give us something very specific. We need a little bit more clarity in our analysis. Then we would actually reference to the answer to look at the reference. Yeah, and at the same time, there is actually this emphasis that we still need to use logic to interpret the chart based on what information that we have gotten. So interestingly, when it comes to lesson 10 itself, Grandmaster taught us to use another different approach to do a more accurate reading, that is actually to find the Tai Sui. Yeah, and that is actually making reference to the year stamp that represent the Tai Sui in the chart itself, because they are actually the palaces with high energy, and this high energy palaces will actually affect the element relationship should the asker or the answer box or any of the key references fall within the Tai Sui box itself. So we learned this thing about cleaning the chart using Tai Sui, and this will actually increase the accuracy of our reading. And this cleaning the chart using Tai Sui can also apply to using the reading and the interpretation of destiny chart. I think this is something which is very interesting, that strikes me, and it's very intuitive to just read the chart on the surface, but with the use of Tai Sui itself, it actually provides another level of an analysis to look at how the different energy of the Tai Sui can help to let's say fill up the emptiness, or even to look at the overflowing of the energy of the Tai Sui to the palaces next door, and how does that actually influence the energy dynamics within the palaces itself. So I think this is something very interesting to find out how the impact of the 太岁 would be on the eventual analysis. Well, so that's the thing that strikes me for lesson 10. I'll share something different for lesson 11. See you then.